What's going on, guys? It is Laser here with my weekend video analysis on NIO. Once again, I'm going to try and get these out every single week. Thank you for those of you that watched my last video and gave me the thumbs up and also dropped comments sections. I just realized as I was making this video that I never answered or responded to some of those comments. I'll try and make some time later today to go back and respond to that. And I encourage you guys, if you have any questions, just drop it in the comment section below. Before I begin, I want to address real quick some of the haters that have been coming in and saying, "You're wrong, man. You're wrong every week. Why do you waste your time?" I mean, I'm sure most of you guys understand this because most of you have a brain, but this is my analysis and it's my opinion. And in no way have I actually claimed my analysis or my opinion to be right 100% of the time or often. I'm just going to tell you what I see. This is what I see. And what I see may be wrong. And that's all right. But I'm here to actually just commentate and just give you my opinion. That's all it is. And if I'm wrong, I'm like, that's my opinion. All right. I'm allowed to be wrong. And I'm sorry if you if you feel the need to kind of come out and address, but that's the last time I'm going to address it. If there is going to be future people who are going to try and come out of my way to let me know I'm wrong, I'm not looking to go, I'm not looking for, that type of hate. If you want to give me criticism, I'm open to that. I'm all ears, but just to come out and just say you're wrong again, I'm going to start blocking some people because that's just like negative attention. I don't want to spend time or attention with people that are out there just to just be, the peanut gallery. So no, thank you. Having said that, let's open this up here. Perfect. That's what I needed. So we've got our trend trying to crack. Guess where the next place that NIO is going to go before it cracks? Who wants to take a guess? It's without a doubt going to come back up here and test that. I can end this video right now, make it so short, and I can just tell you, go ahead, draw that line, set an alert right here, and walk away for when it crosses above. That's when things are going to go crazy. It'll be obvious. That's when things will go crazy. And look, this line can't keep going down forever. There's going to be that break above. And when you get that break above, 840, 989, golden pocket, 1178, that there's going to be a big, big run. And you want to see where there's confluence with that? Take a look at this. All right. Never really put a lot of effort. Let's see, maybe like that. Okay. So what if it runs right up to there, like 839, 841? Like that's likely where you're going to maybe see its first level of resistance before it decides to really break out. The crazy part, guys, and I never really discussed this, but if it decides to break above this like $8 move, all right, and we're gonna go, screw it, it's close enough. So if we do it like that, there's your like first like target. If it actually can break above that, $28, $35, $45. Those are like, that's like the macro if it breaks above that. Right now we're in this smaller trend line and waiting for this to kind of break above and come up, and I would imagine it would come up and kind of test this zone. And if you're going to get that continuation, and if it breaks above this 20, like there's such a huge gap here, the possibilities and suggestions are absolutely insane. So you could get a multi, like a 10, would that be a 10 bagger? Like there's so much opportunity. And the crazy part is retail owns so many shares of NIO. It's such I think retail knows like NIO is a luxurious, exotic electric vehicle company. And they've got kind of a unique stance with battery swapping technology. So there's a bull thesis out there. Yeah, I know there's a bear thesis out there, but like we're getting down to like pretty low evaluations here for NIO. But let's talk about technicals. I'm not a fundamentals guy here, and again, this is my opinion actually. I think that before things look pretty, you're going to get things that look a bit messy, and things are always messy before a really big move. And I spoke about this last time, but look how messy this was. That was probably very exhausting for all these rallies to just have the lows swept. Rally, low swept, rally, low swept. I bet you at that point in time you saw a rally, some people are like, screw this. Like, I don't want to miss out on the next low swept. You get people selling on some of these rallies, mainly retail, and then they rip it. And I think this is what we're seeing. We're seeing kind of like this play out. You're seeing that play out. The velocity is broken, but we haven't broken here, and that's normal to see kind of like that dancing in price action. I think like to this extent, I think that's crazy. I think to see it like dance around like this trend line for this long, it's boiling. It's building something really, really, really big. I think it's gonna be super big. Now, I gotta make a couple comments here and say, as if NIO is gonna come all the way freaking down to almost double bottoming, but not taking the lows out. The lows is where maybe some people have had their stop losses set, and you often see that. And so, as if it's gotten here, so this kind of probably is going to form like a bit of a bear flag, and it's to make its final bottom right here. You want it to kind of make the final bottom and round out over here, back up, and then that's the way I see it. I see the lows being taken out actually, because we've got that low here, and it's still holding a higher low. Last week I was like, oh, like it might be forming like a bullish divergence. Well, it broke that bullish divergence with the market kind of going to shit. Okay, there was a possibility. It was getting close. Market went to shit on that part, but I think it's so close here. I don't see a scenario where it doesn't take the lows out. So don't be shocked if you see a little bit of red kind of leading into next week. When I go into the 2 hours, I do like what I see. I'm already seeing a little bit of seller exhaustion, but you can sometimes get a couple of bullish divergences in a row before things kind of flip around. And we technically got one bullish divergence right over here. So you can see it made a lower low, but we actually have a higher low on that velocity right there. And so sellers pushed it down to a lower low, but on slower velocity, which, I mean, it bounced. So did the whole Chinese market. So now, I mentioned this in my last video, and I said things are going to go crazy once it breaks past right over here. And I also said like things will probably go crazy once we kind of break the 200-day moving average. We're getting closer to that, and the way I see this playing out is you might kind of get like that pullback with the lows being swept, right? Maybe it comes up, and that's when things are going to start looking crazy. It's going to look something like that. That was always a possibility to have these lows swept out. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't do that, but you know what? What better way to actually, make retail feel the most amount of pain to kind of, sweep the previous low, to think this thing's going to just go straight to zero before they rip this. And I think there's only so much they can do. There's only so much more they can push this down before it's going to basically explode. One thing that kind of for perspective here, you guys, is I think this downtrend was something like on the regular scale was something like almost like 250 days. Let's see. It was 260 days. You're not going to see that thing rip right back up immediately, especially with the amount of retail. They're shaking, I think, retail out here before a big move. That's my opinion. And again, my opinion could be wrong, but this is the way I feel. This is what I'm seeing. And again, it's not like a stock will go straight up and straight down. And when things start flipping straight up, we're breaking above the 200-day moving average. When things start flipping down, we're breaking below the 200-day moving average. And you can kind of see these patterns actually all throughout the history of like the stock. Now, we're not quite yet there ready. We're not breaking above there, but eventually, once it does, that's going to signal and shift that there's a lot of faith for the bulls. I'll tweet it. My tweet will come out, and I'll highlight like we've got an urgent break of this 200-day moving average. It's not a matter if it breaks; it's a matter of when it breaks. And if you look at the big picture here, you guys, the big explosion and momentum shift isn't going to happen like right away, but it's going to happen once this breaks. This is going to be a gigantic momentum shift. And I think there's going to be something really big that's coming. And so that basically sums it up. That's my video. Now, if I were to look at the broad market, and I just want to illustrate something here for you, what a bullish divergence kind of currently looks like. Now, if you look at crypto over here, how everyone's like, oh my God, it's going to crash along with the market. But look at that monster move it made, 11%, 12%. Actually, it made a much bigger move off the bottom. What did it make? 28% from the bottom? Sheesh. Is that real? Is that for real? Wow. Okay. You want to see something? What do you guys see? And I have to zoom in just to really highlight it. And if you guys don't see it, oh, look at that. It actually did make a lower low, but wasn't so much to the point where it's like that there's so much more selling pressure. And you got a massive bounce here on crypto. I would argue that I would say like that's basically a bullish divergence. I would call that a bullish divergence. Kind of similar to now what's missing for NIO is you just want to see the lows taken out and you get that big bounce. If you go to the Qs are like super duper oversold, like beyond belief. SPY's oversold, but we're not seeing any bullish divergences yet, actually. So that's not what I'm here to talk to you about this video. Anyways, I'm here to talk to you about NIO. And I do believe we're still getting close. It's getting a bit messy. I'll paint it out for you. A scenario. This is what I think could happen. I think I did in the beginning of the video, and I can't remember, but I'm going to do it one more time before I wrap this video up. Where is it? So I'll run up to here, which is like right around $4.20. Pull back to take the lows out, maybe tap 350 or 330. And it's game time. Like it'll only need to get back up to 420 to break above this, which is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So you might actually see that rally and it gives you that one more like gap down pre-market and then it just rips. They just rip it. I think it's getting so freaking close. But that's it. That's my video. That's my weekend video analysis. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to drop, hit the thumbs up and give me a subscribe button if you want to actually, get updates if I do come out with new videos or if you want to be first to watch my video. And for all the comments from my last video, I haven't had time to actually yet to go and respond to all of them. I'll try and make some time later today to actually go back and respond to them. So I do encourage others, if you guys have questions, to drop it in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer every single question. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a wonderful weekend. Cheers.